The Hasbro Marvel Legends Haslab Engine of Vengeance was not backed. Let's talk about it. Greetings, toy heads, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, the action figure show about news, reviews, collecting tips, customizations, kit bashing, everything that goes into this fun, nerdy hobby that you and I both love. And in this special episode, we're going to be talking about the Hasbro Marvel Legends Haslab Engine of Vengeance. First off, I just want to state that I know I may come across as a Marvel fanboy, but I'm well aware, and I've said it before, Hasbro has its problems. One being distribution issues, two being their wonky pre-order system, to where you pre-order something for them, it hits stores, and in fact the Marvel Legends Ghost Rider is hitting stores now, and it's still on pre-order here. And then the fact that the pre-orders from Hasbro usually go out on Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store, stuff like that, first. So, you know, as a company, they have their issues, and I'm well aware of that, and I'll be the first to, you know, chime in about it. But that being said, the Haslab system, I'm really on the fence about. I don't participate in it because they have yet to make anything that I would jump in on. I've said before, the two things I would be jumping in on for anything Haslab would be, number one, Slave One. Yes, Slave One, not Boba Fett Starship, but Slave One, which I could see them possibly doing, and then the other being the Millennium Falcon, both on Star Wars The Black Series. I don't ever see the Millennium Falcon getting made, because that would be like the USS Flag for that would be, yeah, it would be huge. It would be literally like a coffee table. But my thoughts on Haslab are this, and I know that there's a lot of other people that feel this way too. I think the things that they choose and the tiers that they choose are not great. They make what I like to call Todd McFarlane decisions. They just make stuff that they want to make, and they really don't do things for the fans. In my opinion, this should have been Johnny Blaze and the bike. That's what this should have been. Instead of bringing out, of course, then you would have people, because there's going to be, I know what's coming down the pipe, especially from one particular individual in the toy collecting community on YouTube. There's going to be a haha, I told you so about this, just like there was about the Rancor. The Rancor was mishandled. The Rancor should have had it should have had Ula. It should have had the Rancor Keeper, which was too little too late on that. But that also being said, the Rancor, I wouldn't have been in on that anyway. Number one, these things are way too expensive for what they are, really. But this is cool. I mean, this was a cool idea with the car and everything, but it being Robbie Reyes, no. I think that there would have been way more people wanting to jump in on it if it had been Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider with the bike, with the same concept idea, interchangeable, you know, make the bike, make, you know, the figure with the Johnny Blaze head, and then make it to be able to be converted into the Ghost Rider bike with the flaming wheels and whatnot. And probably not be this much. I could have seen it maybe being $249 or $199. But I think that's really why this didn't fly. I know that there's a lot of people, and this came with a lot of stuff too. I know there's a lot of people, their hang-ups on it were the choice of the tiers on this, which it should be okay. I guess they're not on here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so like they did here with the figure with the interchangeable head was a good idea, just not Robbie Reyes. This is basically, this would have been like if DC, if Mattel, oh god, I wish this were a thing. If Mattel still had the license for DC and they did something like this, and they made instead of making a Ted Kort Blue Beetle, they made the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. That's basically how I look at this. I know a lot of people had a problem with and one thing is I'm more familiar with DC stuff than I am with Marvel, because I grew up around DC more than I did Marvel. But I know people had a problem with the Goblin Queen, the Madeline Pryor Goblin Queen, with the costume not being right, particularly in this area. And I completely understand that. I've always had this saying that I've used time and time again: don't put a mustache on the Mona Lisa. And that has to do with everything. When you change a character, whether it be their costume, their ethnicity, or anything like that, you just don't do it unless it's like a multiverse type thing. There's always room for everything when you're dealing with especially in the superhero comic book universe. If you can't be creative and come up with a new character to push the diversity factor or whatever it is that you're trying to do, then you aren't talented enough to be in that business. And I again with the costume, I mean, I get why they did it, but I don't know this character enough to have a dog in that fight. So, and then the Hellstrom figure, I know it took a lot of heat because it was basically just a reuse. This was kind of like the Rancor Keeper of this project. I know nothing about this guy. I mean, they're cool looking. Without a doubt, they're cool looking. I mean, I would have just liked to have the skull, but and I have one from the one that I got with my Doctor Doom, the loose Doctor Doom that I got, and then the Mephisto. Again, it looks cool. Don't know much about the character. I know Johnny Blaze, and I know I know the heroes, but when you get into some of the villains in Marvel, I'm out of it. I don't know. And there's certain things that I didn't grow up reading as far as the comics are concerned. I was reading Batman, Detective Comics, Action Comics, Superman, Justice League of America. I didn't really get into Justice League Europe or Justice League International or any of that, or Justice Society. A Red Green Lantern, especially like the Green Lantern, Green Arrow team ups. But when it came to Marvel, I was kind of pigeonholed down into just like Spider-Man and Thor. I really didn't. I had so fewer of the Marvel comics than I did DC. But yeah, I really, in my opinion, that is why this failed. If this had been Johnny Blaze and the Bike, this probably would have had way more backers. I think this was a poor choice on Hasbro's part. And as a company, they make poor choices. I mean, this is the third almost in a row. I mean, look here's a perfect example. Look at the G.I. Joe classified, or G.I., not G.I. Joe classified, the G.I. Joe vintage. Let's see. Let's go right back here to the page. This exploded. This exploded because this was a popular vehicle in G.I. Joe. Oh, I guess, yeah, this is classified. I was, for some reason, thinking this was vintage. Well, like the Sky Striker was vintage. This blew up because this was a popular vehicle, and it was a little cheaper. And what you're getting with it is a way better deal. I think because of the price and what that was, Engines of Vengeance was, I think that was a poor choice. One thing that I will say, too, about this that really pisses me off is this. The fact that we may never see this on a card or in a box. They might do this as a retro, but if this is the only way we're ever going to get this Cobra Commander, I'm going to be thoroughly pissed. Because I want, as much as we all want, the lovers of the G.I. Joe Classified series, not the haters, but as much as we want this, if this is the only way to get this, that's gonna suck. Because there will be people, mark my word, there will be people that get this, that chuck this up on eBay or Mercari. And it will be expensive. And I'm not going to be paying the price to get this, even though I want it really, really bad. And as you know, we all want it. The collectors of the Classified series, we want that Cobra Commander because that is the Cobra Commander. It's what they call the Mickey Mouse ears Cobra. But, yeah, I mean, if you look at as a history, like look at Galactus, it blew up. The Transformer stuff blew up. Sky Striker blew up. Proton Pack blew up. The Sail Barge, the Vintage Collection Sail Barge blew up. These are all these are what fans want. You can't make a thing that is like the number 2 guy, and that's what this is. This is the number 2 guy. That, you know, if they would have done, it's just like, okay, like the figure that I'm waiting on, which I should have in a few months, from Mezco 112 Collective, is a Superman Man of Steel edition. If they would have made that in like the new 52 trunkless costume, I don't think, of course, now it wasn't like back this. It was just, we're making this, and if you want it, you want it. Get on the thing and pre-order it. And I did, and I've got one coming. But if they would have done the new 52, I don't think as many people would have bought it. I'm not a fan of changing a costume. I'm not a fan of removing the trunks. I'm a Silver Age superhero guy. When you get beyond that and the modernization of costumes and stuff and the modernization of characters, I'm not on board. I'm just not. I want, as much as a lot of the collectors that want something like this, we know what we want. And I think hopefully this, and then the past, like the Third Sister Saber, the Rancor debacle, all of that. I hope this one will finally, you know, make Hasbro listen. And if they really want to engage the fans with this Haslab thing, and again, there's 2 things that they would need to make for me to get on board, and I told you what they were. If they really want to engage the fans, they need to put a thing on this page on Hasbro Pulse, and it needs to be, you know, like almost like a forum. What would you like to see? And make it like, you know, a voting system, you know, or make it like, just make it a forum. Like, we want to see, you know, blah, blah, blah with this, and this. And I think another thing that they would be good would be to not shoot for the sky so much. Not make such expensive big products. Make smaller stuff. Make like something in the $50 to $100 scale where it's like a pack of figures. Or that would be a good thing to do with the dreadnoughts. For G.I. Joe Classified. You get the dreadnoughts. No vehicle. No, you get torch, buzzer, ripper, monkey wrench. You get like, 4 or 5 dreadnoughts. I think something like that would go over better than just trying to do these big things all the time. Yeah, you have won, several times with that. But it's stuff like Galactus and the Sentinel, and it's stuff that's like somebody that's a big fan is like, oh yeah, I'm all aboard on that. But when you make something like this, which it was a cool idea. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the Rancor, in that scale, a 1/12 scale Rancor was a cool idea. 27 inches tall, crazy. But again, I think where they failed with this was this. We already had a Rancor. The Bones, I'm kind of just like, nah, whatever. The Salacious Crumb was the Luke, nah. But yeah, the Rancor, dumb idea. I guess really the Luke was a dumb idea because that's coming out anyway. They're bringing that out. But yeah, see, they don't even have the Rancor Keeper on here. And I know at the very last they're like, oh, and the Rancor Keeper, but it was too late. Anyway, that's all I got for this episode. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in for it because I know there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to do it, and I'm not going to make a Hasbro hate video because I don't hate Hasbro. I like Hasbro. They make good product. Say what you will about their business model and whatever, how they handle stuff and whatever, it's a business and it's a dog eat dog world right now, and it's all about trying to make money. And again, you can say what you want about the pricing, the prices of everything, the prices of everything's gone up. You can't just pigeonhole action figures and toys into that category because everything's expensive right now. And just as things are, toys have followed suit. That's just the world we live in right now. And, you either accept it or you wash your hands of it and move on. But at any rate, just wanted to throw my 2 cents in for that. So that will do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Or smash that bell so you can get information on all the good things coming out of the Digitally Rebastard Network, as well as join us on Twitter, Discord, and my TikTok by clicking those links in the bottom right-hand corner of the banner on our channel page. Become part of the DRN family. We will welcome you with open arms. You've been watching Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, here on the Digitally Rebastard Network. You all have a great week and a great day. I'll see you next time, and until then, don't forget to get your figure on. Take care.